I can. Can you hear me?
Needs to be unmuted. Okay, can you hear both of us now? There we go. All right, well, good morning, everyone. Please put in chat if something sounds wrong or if like I'm echoing. I think we're good to go. But good morning, everyone. We are here. I am actually have my face on here. My little fear of that has gone away a bit. But Johanna, good morning. If you are not, I assume most of you here are familiar with Johanna and the books that she does and how much we all love them here. But today we are going to discuss, let's see, it'll let it, Small Victories, which is her new book that is, let's see, release date is in about a week?
Yes, next week.
That's what I thought. And then also, she actually had a release, well, kind of a re-release of a book with some bonuses in it. There was also the 10th anniversary of Secret Garden, which we may or may not have done about 10 streams worth to finish this one. So
what's a labor of love?
It was a little bit, but it was fun. So 10th anniversary of Secret Garden. There's 2 new pages in there. The link is in the description if you want to purchase that one, as well as the pre-order link for Small Victories. So if you haven't got it yet, I've looked through it. It's amazing. You should get it. But hello, Johanna. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, we're going to do some coloring today. I've got a list of questions that people asked, and anyway, we're just going to chat. So if you want, we can go ahead and flip around and get started. We are going to be coloring in. You can see it. Oh, little cupcake page. So we can go ahead and switch that around if you want to flip your phone.
Okay.
There we go. All right. She's going to join us here in just a second. So this is what we're going to be working on today. If you want to see a full flip through of the book, she did that on both Facebook and Instagram. So you can check that out there. Like I said, we're going to do the cupcakes today. I'm using some polychromos, and yeah, there we go. And yeah, we're going to jump right in. So hello, everyone. I know normally I do kind of like a hello to everyone, but we have Johanna's time is very precious, and we are going to keep within our window here. So hello to everyone. Like I said, I've got some questions, and we're just gonna jump right in. Johanna, what pencils are you using today?
So I knew you were going to ask that. Look at this ridiculous mess. Mia, it wasn't even Evie. Mia was in here the other night helping me with some stuff, and she just tipped out 2 pots of, I think these are Arteza triangular pencils and a Statler Ergo Soft. So I'm just going to use this.
That works. I almost used the Ergo Soft, but I was like, you know what? I'm feeling, that double page spread, we did that all in Ergo Softs. Like, I absolutely love it.
Okay.
All right.
Ergo Softed out.
Oh yes, we love our Ergo Softs here. Well, as far as the new book is concerned, you know, we're going to get the big questions out of the way so that anybody who was curious will know. So, the big number 1 question that I saw was paper. How?
Yes.
So I'll let you say which one is it most similar to? Is it? I know it depends on like where it gets published, but what can you tell us more about the paper for this book?
So it's not where it gets, well, I suppose it is where it gets published. It's where it gets printed. So the only 2 editions I can speak with any kind of authority about are the UK and the US editions. Both of these, for the first time ever, have been printed in the same printing factory.
Oh,
and
really?
They're on the same paper, which is a 160 gram paper. So if you've had any of my UK editions recently, it's that paper. So it's a new paper for the US market. The paper in the US has been tinted to the colour that we're used to. I believe the UK has a slightly different tint just to keep it, you know, similar to what we're used to. What is that word? Consistent.
Yes, consistent.
And let me just show you here. But because we're using the same printing factory, both the UK and the US editions have a sewn binding.
Yes.
Which means there's no glue. Well, there is glue, but not as much. So you can lay it flat. So look, you can get right in there.
Yeah, I definitely like kind of. Yeah, I bent mine a little bit. I'm like, we're gonna get it, but it lays flat perfectly, and I think that's what a lot of people prefer. Is that, and obviously with every book, you know, you change, like you take what. Sorry, I am all over the place. One of the things that people love is the fact that you you know, the community says, hey, we like this, or maybe didn't like that much, and you take it, you take that into account for the next book. You're not just like, oh, I'll print it on whatever, you know, I want, but you hear and you listen. And I think that's what a lot of people really enjoy. And that was going to be the question, was the binding. So, which, I absolutely love.
Sometimes it's just not physically possible for us to do all the things that people would love. And, you know, like there's obviously a wish list, and it's sometimes just not physically possible because we can't get the paper, or we can't get the paper to the printers, or they
absolutely.
just make the price of the book so high that nobody could afford it, which is not something I ever want to do. But I thought it was important that this book in particular had the sewn binding because it is smaller. You need to get it out flatter almost, so the bigger books fold open and sort of flop open a little bit more because they have the bigger pages. So with these ones, you do need a little bit more pressure. So the sewn binding will mean that everything holds together beautifully. And unless you're really, really hard on it, you shouldn't have any issues with cracked spines or
loose pages or
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, because I think that's what a lot of people were curious about. Because obviously we all know, like, there was kind of a what's the word? Scuffle. I don't know. Everybody was with the printer for your last one, and I was just like, it's fine, it's all good. But I think people are going to really enjoy this.
You know what? That was the oddest thing. When we really dug down into that, we think there might have been a handful of books that had printer errors.
Yeah.
Which is a totally different thing to people just not liking the paper. So we used the same paper as the Kirby Roseanne's books, which I'm sure you've colored as well.
Yeah.
So it's a really lovely.
Yeah, they even hold up with good with watercolor.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, change is, you know, like change is sometimes difficult to adjust to, especially in our creative practice. If you're used to one type of media or one type of paper,
absolutely,
it can be quite different. So we haven't used that paper again. We've gone with the UK paper and the UK binding. So everyone has, it's like when I say to my kids, everyone's got the same,
right?
got the same thing.
Exactly.
No fighting.
Well, so I guess one of the other big questions is, obviously this book is different than your previous books in the way that it's smaller. Even for the smaller editions, those were just kind of, like you mentioned yesterday, cropped or shrunk down to fit the size of the book. But obviously these images were drawn specifically for a book of this size. So what was your kind of thought process when you came up with the idea for a kind of a good travel size book?
Sure, I was just fed up of being overwhelmed and not being able to finish anything. And as somebody who's made all these books, I think I've finished about 3 pages. It's that I don't have the time, or my attention span goes, or you know, I'm attracted by something new and shiny. So I was just never completing a page. And I also felt that, you know, when you finish something and you have that ta-da moment and you can show it off, it takes so long to get to that ta-da moment. I was like, what can we do to increase that, to make you get those feel good vibes more easily, and to just make colouring a bit more achievable? So the obvious thing was to make the illustrations smaller, but what I didn't want to do was to just shrink down things, because then they get super intricate, the detail all tightens up. So it just was at this time a case of drawing things at print size. So everything in this book was drawn at this size, which means the detail isn't too tiny, and you should be able to color it the same way as you would color the larger books. It's not that everything's just been shrunk down, it's just there's less of it, or there's smaller chunks. So these little cakes are all a nice size. Pages like this, we've got little posies or little blossoms. It's the same level of detail. It's not any more intricate. You're not going to need new glasses or a magnifier. It's just smaller and more manageable.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's like when someone picks it up, if they can look at it and say, oh, this is something I can do, I think that that's going to go a long way. Like, I noticed that kind of style almost started coming in probably about the time you did Magical Jungle. I know a lot of people are really excited because there were animals in there, but there were larger spaces to where it was less detailed. Like, obviously we love the classic and everything, but if somebody can look at it and be less intimidated and feel like it's something they can accomplish, then they are going to be more likely to want to pick up the pencils and, you know, get something done. It's kind of just any long labor of love project. Sometimes it's just easier if you can be like, okay, well, I'm not in the mood for something big, but I think we could maybe tackle this kind of deal.
Well, that's it. I don't think art should ever be intimidating. And I know myself, like, I don't really want to dive into a big double page spread some days. Sometimes you just want a small win, something you can pick up your pens and pencils and you're done in 10 minutes on a single sitting. And that feeling of being able to close your book and know that the page is done or that little section is done. And for me, that's really rewarding. And you want to be able to do it, in between Skype calls or while the baby naps. So to make everything just smaller and sort of chunk it down just made sense. And I think as well in this book, there's no one theme. I tried to just do, to be honest, really selfishly, a little of everything that I love, because then I felt that I'd probably do really nice artwork for you guys. I think the times that I try to do topics or themes or commissions when I don't really like the theme, you could totally tell. So everything in this book I love.
That's awesome. It's funny you say about doing it, while the baby naps. So I started coloring back in 2015. I think it was about a year after your first release. Enchanted Forest was my first one. But that's exactly what drew me in, because I went to college for art. I've always loved it, but it was so intimidating with a blank canvas, because I need to feel inspired, or what am I going to paint? And especially with having an infant, it was really hard for me to find the time to do something. I'm not going to be able to get out all the paints and get into it, and then an hour later the baby's up. And these were perfect because I could get it out, color, baby wakes up, you close it, you set it aside, and you're done. And so I definitely credit your books to my diving kind of back into the art world. Absolutely. Otherwise, I don't think I would have done it.
Oh, well, that's lovely. And stories like that I absolutely love, because everyone is born creative. And obviously, you've been to art school and had your training and things, and maybe sometimes life just gets in our way and we kind of lose that habit, I guess, and those skills and a bit of that confidence. So I think colouring is just a really accessible way for people to tap back into their creativity.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
there's no blank page. It's not super scary. You don't have to sit there for ages, as you say, thinking up, waiting for inspiration to strike. The illustrations are there. You just need to bring the colour. And I think anything that you do as a team or as a collaboration or with a partner is always easier. So that's the way I think of the book. We're just a team, you and I. I've drawn the outlines, and now you're going to bring the color, and that makes it so much more approachable. And
it just makes it so special too, knowing that, even still just the coloring community by itself being so connected to people, from around the world that I would have otherwise never have known in any way, shape, or form. It just makes it extra special.
I know.
So with Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, you had a lot of fun stories for that one. Even when you did your illuminated manuscript pages, Evie, she got her little monster that was in there from your drawings. So do you have any I guess tales about any of the pages in here? With what was that? Was it Rooms of Wonder? No, it was the one before with the windmill, where the windmill didn't get attached to the top of the.
Oh God! Yeah. Wow, that was terrible, wasn't it? No, well, I'm just going to flick through here and remind myself. So there was a few pages where they get out. Well, so this page here, there's a lady at my gym who has a couple of sausage dogs. And I remember the day that I was drawing this, I'd been speaking to her about her dogs, and I was like, I am 100% going to draw sausage dogs in the book. And she's only got 2. So I drew 2. I was like, no, it needs 3. So we added an extra one in. Purely because she'd inspired me.
Oh, I love
this page, Mia loves Rapunzel. Tangled is one of her favorite movies. She used to have really, really long hair. She got it all cut off earlier this year and donated it actually to a charity that makes wigs for children that are having chemo, cancer treatment. That's why both my girls now have short hair. But she loves Rapunzel, so she wanted towers and rainbows. She always loves a rainbow. More rainbows. This page here is a bit of a sample page, so quite often people give me ideas or suggestions for things that they'd like in books, and whilst I always just gloss over the Halloween ones for obvious reasons, space is something that comes up so often, and every time someone said it, I'm like, yeah, but it's gonna be really black, isn't it? I see what you're saying. There'll be bits of really great, galaxy colors and maybe some foils and all that kind of stuff. It's mainly black. So for everyone who's ever asked me for a space-themed book, here's your intergalactic fantastic sample page. See how you go. If I'm not seeing loads and loads of black on social media, we'll know that it works, and we can maybe investigate further.
Well, see, that's the so Kirby Rosan's, he put out an Alien Worlds one, and I know a lot of people, because his style is slightly more angular, there's a lot more sharper lines, and some of the aliens, they're a little too scary for the kiddos, but One of the things that one of the things that I pointed out for him is that because it's space and because it's, well, alien worlds, because that was the name of it, that actually almost expands your color palette. Because I mean, you take the movie Avatar for instance. Obviously, that is completely fantastical.
Yes.
All of these plants, like literally, when it comes to any kind of space or alien worlds kind of thing, that almost expands it because you don't have, you don't feel you don't feel a strong pull to stay with one particular color palette. Like, oh, roses are red or white, or all the different colors that they are. With something that's alien, it can literally be anything you want, because there could be worlds out there that are, completely fantastical. You just don't know. So I feel like that kind of opens up the color palette a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll soon see. If I see tons and tons of black, Emily, though, you're wrong.
I know, right? All right, you guys, what we're hearing here is that we need to work together. Everyone do your most colorful, like, imagination versions, and then we can get her to do a space book.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
I'm not sure I'm really ready to swap flowers for aliens, but we'll see.
Maybe it's a planet solely made out of flowers, and their spaceships, they fly on, little glass domes with little flowers.
Yeah.
See, we'll just start a team where we be like, all right, so we're gonna list off all of the crazy alien things that could be super colorful. Well, with this book, then, do you have an all-time favorite page in here?
Gosh, do you know what? I love the pages like. Well, I was going to show you this actually first. So quickly. People often ask as well for a seasons book. So I showed this in the live stream yesterday. But I did 4 garlands like this, and there is spring, summer, fall, as you guys say, autumn, and winter. So they're quite nice, and I imagine people are going to make quite nice calendars and things out of those pages if they want to cut their books up. But my favorite pages are the ones like, can't find any of them now. The little, bear with me, guys.
You're good.
Things like this. So I think there's 3 pages that have lots of little magical houses like this. These were so much fun. I just sat with a big sheet of paper and drew
I love
hundreds, well, not hundreds, but maybe about 50 of these, probably even more. And then I popped the best ones in. So I think there's 3 pages with these little extractions. And I just think they're so sweet, because you could just sit and, like, maybe this one is your lunch break. And then the next day you do this one on your coffee break. Then maybe you do this one while you're waiting in the car for someone to come out of ballet practice. Like, it's so manageable. And then things like this. So there are some pages that are single pages, like a whole thing. But if you imagine that in one of my big colouring books, that would be a very simple, small illustration. But because this is a smaller book, it fills up the big page. But it's just a bigger version of one of these, like a little magical world. So yeah, I just love that. I think I just love the idea of escaping to somewhere whimsical and
absolutely
magical.
No, definitely. And I think too, because, like I said, with the previous miniature, people were kind of like intimidated, but the size of this is almost like, it's perfect. It can fit in a notebook. Like, I've got my, like, an iPad case when I do like different drawings out and about, and this would like slide in there perfect. Like, it's the perfect size for it. You can just pull it out, color a little bit, and call it good. Like, I love it so much. Because I know when it came out too, we're like, wait a minute, what's the size of it? And then when we realized, we're like, oh, that's so cool.
Well, I wanted something that could fit in your purse, your handbag, your carry-on, your nappy bag, your changing bag, whatever you call it, your diaper bag, I guess.
Yeah.
And also something that wasn't, so like if you're traveling, imagine you're on a plane, this is going to fit on that little tray that folds down.
Oh, absolutely.
Or if you're on the train, like, I just love the fact that it's portable. And it was really important to me that the illustrations were drawn for precisely this size. And I think that is important. And then the last thing that was really good, I was just trying to see if I could find one. But if you imagine standard packet of pencils, I don't have any to fit, they would fit on here. So they make a really great gift for like a Secret Santa, or if you're doing a care package for someone.
Oh, absolutely.
You can fit a 12-pack of pencils on there, pop it in a jiffy envelope, and pop it in the post box. It's not so big now that it needs to go to the post office and be weighed and all that jazz. So it is a much more portable and sendable size, which I think is lovely. I just love the idea that you could pop that through someone's letterbox if they needed a little bit of TLC.
Well, the funny thing is when you mentioned that yesterday, I was thinking about it. I was just like, oh, that would be a great gift. I may or may not have gone and like, I've already got a pre-order coming, and then I have this one, and then I may have gone and or pre-ordered 2 more because the kiddos, they also came and saw it, and they're like, oh, I love, because for them also seeing the smaller individual things, you know, because they actually, I've given them a few of your books before, but you know, they're younger. I think ours are in similar age, but you know, now that they saw the little ones, they were just like, oh, I could do that. So yeah, I did 2 for them, and then I have 1 in mind for like another friend. And so it's just like, oh yeah, this would be fantastic. Like it's little, it's not intimidating. Like this could definitely be like a good starter book for people as well. Like if they haven't colored any of yours before, like just jump right in, and it's just like, this is perfect. Just, you know, a good warm up. Like even before we went live, I was working on this little cupcake. I was like, well, I'll just get started on a cupcake. We'll call it good. Oh, is it Della's birthday? Happy birthday, Della. We got birthdays all going on in chat.
Happy birthday.
Well, let's see. I have some of the other, Jim Cat for the questions that I did. She said, no question, but I love the concept of this book. So that's awesome. Brooke wants
you. I'm really glad you like it.
Brooke wants to know, what is your #1 tip for a budding artist? Someone new to the art world.
Draw every day. Every single day, draw something. So either keep a little sketchbook or get some post-it notes, but drawing is just a skill. It's the same as riding a bike or swimming or even your handwriting. And the more you practice, the more confident you'll get, the better muscle memory you'll have. So if you practice every day, just draw something little, I think you'll find very quickly you'll improve. So that'd be my top tip. Practice.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. Patches wants to know favorite pens or Super Skinny Lines, favorite glitter pens.
My favorite glitter pens are definitely jelly rolls. I think the Sakura jelly rolls are just fab. I've also got someone might have sent me these. These ones, maybe Suzanne sent me these.
Oh yeah, that was Suzanne. Those are her top. Yep.
They're fab. I really have to hide these because the kids constantly try to steal them.
Oh right, yeah. The Pentel brand is.
What was the first bit?
Let's see. What does she say? It says favorite pens for super skinny lines. Yeah. So I assume she means maybe a multi-liner of some sort.
Yeah. So if you're coloring, I actually really like the Statler. A pigment liner, but to be honest, I don't color small bits with ink because I find that it's the smaller the detail, the longer I take to do it. So I've got prolonged nib to paper time and increased pressure, which means I'm more likely to bleed the ink. Very technical. I tend to not use pens. If I'm drawing, I use Statler fine liners, pigment liners, a bit like this. So these are the pens that I use for drawing everything, and you get colored versions of this as well. So that'd be what I would.
Oh, I didn't know they did. Well, I guess that's the mold. You're talking about the these ones here, right?
I can't see them, Emily.
Oh, sorry. Here, I'll hold it up to my camera. There we go. These ones.
Yeah, but they also. Oh, maybe I saw a sneaky thing that I wasn't meant to see. So I got sent a box of stuff from Statler.
Oh.
Spoiler release. They definitely have colored versions of these.
Okay. All right.
Maybe they're not.
Well, I mean, I'm all about. You're good. I'm all about this. Like Pentel, Staedtler, like they've all got just fabulous products. Like the fine liners are great, the multi liners. Well, and of course, I love the ErgoSoft. So yeah, I'll be sad if they ever pull the ErgoSoft for whatever reason. I'll be like, no, they're awesome. I wish they would expand it though from 36 because that's just they're fabulous pencils. Let's see.
I quite like that. I like the limited color palette because otherwise you get 17 greens and it's just overwhelming.
That's fair. That's fair.
I quite like it.
Well, and it is kind of nice too when I do the when I use the ErgoSoft versus something huge. Like of course there's 120 in the polychromos, but with the 36, it's the same reason why I occasionally do Crayola also, because I think a lot of times people will feel sad or intimidated because maybe they don't have the big large sets. But the fact of the matter is you don't need to, which is why I did that double page spread with just that 36 set, because just to kind of show that you don't have to have a bajillion pencils to come out. You know, if anything, it's almost like a color challenge because it makes you kind of think outside the box with color theory and color blending and all of that. So yeah, it's also kind of nice. The collector in me is
I
like,
also think some people worry about picking the wrong colors, and if you've got 150 colors to pick from, I think there's more chance that you're going to do like bananas color variations and like weird combo. Well, I mean, there's no weird combos, but you can do a lot of different combinations. If there's a limited color palette, it means that, you know, there's not going to be a wild amount of colors in your picture, so it's going to just hold together a bit better.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's see. I know we're starting to run out of time. I'm going to check. I have my list in front of me of questions that people asked. Allison's was super simple. She just asked, will you please keep making awesome art and bringing us such joy and fun challenges in our coloring art?
Oh, bless you. So, of course I will. Of course.
Definitely lots of love coming that way. I mean, I know everybody is just, you know, every year it's like it's Christmas, and then it's, you know, this year we technically got 2 new book releases. I know Secret Garden was a reprint, but there's 2 new images in it. So if you are a Johanna book collector, definitely check that one out. Let's see. I think that might be most everything.
I'm going to flip my camera around, Emily, so that I can, well, first of all, here's my coloring.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's so cute.
My coloring round.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we're good.
Right, I'm going to flip my phone. So just before we became live, I was on my laptop speaking to Emily. I was just going to tell everyone what happened, and we were busy chatting about the colouring. And then I suddenly realised that if I was on my laptop, I wouldn't
be able to do that.
Flip the camera around.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean,
the cogs turning.
I mean, I've got multiple cameras, but that's why mine's the way that it is. But I guess all I can say is
I'm used to, and I'm like, that's too tricky, too technical. Use my phone.
There you go. Well, I know that everybody is super excited about this book. So let's see. Release day worldwide is the 7th.
Do you know what? It's Tuesday and Thursday next week. One day is the UK and one day is the US.
So yeah, so if you haven't pre-ordered, be sure that you snag that. I have the Amazon US link in there, but if you type in !Johanna in chat, that will bring up her website, or you can just go to johannabasford.com. Also type !Giveaway, because lovely Johanna posted this morning. She is doing a giveaway, a pretty massive size giveaway. Did you want to talk about that for just a second?
Yeah, hold on, I'll show you what it is. I've got my big stack of stuff. So we're giving away 3 bundles like this. This is every single one of my books. So they'll be signed, and then also some Statler goodies. I have like my favorite pens, my favorite sharpener from them, some lovely coloring pens, some lovely pencils, and yeah, every single one of my books. So it's the entire back catalogue.
Oh my goodness.
Just a giveaway. So there's going to be one on Instagram, one on Facebook, and one on
separate
my newsletter.
ones.
So 3 bundles. Yeah, separate. So 3 chances. 3.
That's amazing.
And then it's like one of those ones where you just like it and like tag a friend.
Tag a friend. I only noticed it because someone tagged me today, and I was like, wait, what's going on? I looked, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. So it's super nice, and it's a worldwide entry, so it doesn't matter where you are. I will get this bundle of books to you somehow. It's so heavy. What have we committed to here? But it'll be fine.
Oh my gosh.
Have to come in 2 packages, but they'll get there.
Oh, absolutely. Well, whoever ends up with those, like, that is just so generous and amazing, and that's probably just going to make their year. That's going to be awesome. Let's see. I don't think, I know chat has been flying, and I know I probably missed some people. Sorry. That's why I had like the questions for it. So I'm like, I'll have to go through, and if there's anything that I can answer, I'll let you guys know. But bottom line is the link for this is pinned in the description. You can also type !small, and that will bring up the link. Oh, see, I was also doing that one. Oh, there you go. I've already been having time of my life in there. Same thing with the 10th anniversary of Secret Garden. That link is also there. And again, we have the giveaway. And Johanna, I just want to thank you for coming and joining us today. And yeah, this was fun. And Yeah, everybody get your book. It's super fun. And we're definitely going to be doing some color alongs in here. But also, she also mentioned in the flip throughs yesterday, if for some reason you can't get the book or it's not coming yet, there will be a download next week for all the lives.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I've got a week of live color along color along sessions on Monday the 13th kicking off on Facebook is where I'm going to do it primarily, and then we'll post later to YouTube or what have you. If you can't get your book in time, don't worry, I'll have a little download. It won't be all the drawings that we do, but it'll be enough of a sample that you can still take part and have lots of fun. But if you can, grab your book because it's nice to be part of the full experience.
Absolutely. And it's little, it's perfect. And then also you're going to be doing a live with Suzanne as well. I know she posted on her Instagram on hers. I want to say it's the 6th or the 7th. Anyway, follow Suzanne. You can type in ! Suzanne in chat, and hers is going to be over on Instagram. All right. Well, we're going to let you go here. Thank you again for just everything, creating the book, sharing your creativity with everyone for the giveaway. Yeah, everyone, if you're not following Johanna, follow her. Like, what are you doing with your life? No, I'm kidding.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for coming here, and we will chat with you later.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.